Hey guys, in this short we're going to cover basic forms of capital. There's really two broad categories of types of capital. The first one we're kind of familiar with, the second one is usually foreign to most of us when we get into business, okay? So the first one is debt, and we're familiar with debt because most of us have gotten car loans, mortgages, whatever, we borrowed money, right? So this is when you borrow money, someone gives you money, and we have to pay that organization like a bank or an individual the money back, right, based on some agreement we have. So the most common form of a traditional form of debt is a term loan. That means that you borrow money and then you got X amount of years to pay back that money with interest, right? But there's two other forms that aren't as familiar to us that you need to know about. The first one is a small business bond. Now, in large corporations, they issue corporate bonds all day long. Even companies like Apple with $1 gazillion in cash on their balance sheet issue corporate bonds to fund operations with other people's money, and they invest their money. Very sophisticated with big companies. But now with recent law changes and stuff, small businesses and even startups can raise capital through small business bonds. And there's videos on our website, get more in detail on how bonds work. The next one is my favorite, which is a revenue share agreement. This is a form of debt that is used where you're going to take a portion of your revenue, your top line revenue, and carve that out, and whatever that number is, every quarter, every month, whatever you want to do, you're going to use that amount of money to pay back the people you got the money from, and then return some multiple of their investment back to them. Again, not going to get into details. There's a video on our website, tells you how RSAs work. But these are three common tools that are used to raise money, using debt as a way to raise money, and there's three different ways of paying back those providers of that debt. The second form of capital is called equity, right? And this is where you're swapping ownership for cash. So you're swapping ownership. People are basically buying a piece of your company. And the way you figure out how much of the company that they're going to buy is based on something called valuation, which I'm not going to get into in this short. Look for other shorts about that. But really that's some value that's placed on the business. You know, the closest analogy is like buying a home. There's a price for the home, but it's relative to other similar homes in the area. Well, valuation kind of works that way. That's the denominator. The amount of investor money you're getting is the numerator, and whatever that solution is, that quotient, that is the percentage of the business that you're giving up. There's something else that's kind of newer out there called a simple agreement for future equity, which is short, SAFE is short for that. So simple agreement for future equity. It is equity, but the reason a SAFE exists is the way a SAFE works is you're going to figure out what the valuation is later, and I won't get into that, but it kind of allows you to kick that can down the road a bit in terms of agreeing on a valuation. But basically equity is swapping ownership for investment, and debt is bringing in money that you have to pay back with some kind of return to the origin of that capital. Well, those are the basic forms of capital. Look for other shorts where we kind of dig deeper into each of these, and hopefully this is helpful. Good luck out there.